Why don't you guys come up and have a seat while we turn everything on here? All right, we are back for our preliminary examinations.
This is where things get real. A preliminary exam determines whether there's enough evidence for the case to move forward, and judges don't take these lightly. Notice how the judge immediately addresses delays but keeps the courtroom moving. Watch closely because the stakes are about to come into focus fast.
Sorry, I was a bit delayed. I had a commitment that I had to be with. I left early and we're in pretty good shape. This is the time for the preliminary examinations that have been scheduled for today. There are 3 defendants, 4 cases, one of which we're going to address right now. That would be file number 251308FD, People versus Devin Martin. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martin is here with his lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. Also present is Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Angela Kimfield. Defendant is charged currently with reckless driving, operating while intoxicated with an incapacitating injury, which is the felony in this set of charges, operating with a high blood alcohol, another count of reckless driving, and there's also a civil infraction citation for failing to stop at an assured clear distance. This all had to do with an accident that occurred last summer on July 6th. I was told just as I got back that there had been a negotiated plea in this matter. Ms. Camfield, what's the status here?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. It's my understanding that Mr. Martin will be entering a plea of guilty to count 2, operating with a high blood alcohol content, at which time the people would move to dismiss counts 1 and 3 and any pending citations as a result of this incident. We will be requesting restitution as part of the sentencing, but I'll know more about what we'll recommend after we see the pre-sentence investigation report.
Is there any kind of estimate on restitution right now?
There is not.
Okay. That's the financial damages.
All right, well, let's unpack that, as I said earlier today. The charge of operating while intoxicated with a serious accident injury is a felony. It's punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment. That charge is being dismissed, as is reckless driving. I guess there's just one count of reckless driving. And the civil infraction of failing to stop in a short clear distance will also be dismissed. So what's left is one misdemeanor charge called operating with a high blood alcohol level. Operating with a high blood alcohol.
Big legal twist here. A felony carrying up to 5 years in prison just got dropped in exchange for a misdemeanor plea. That's a massive downgrade. What do you think? Good deal or too lenient given the injuries involved? Drop your thoughts below, because this kind of plea bargain always sparks debate.
Level is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 180 days in jail, up to a $700 fine, and could up to 360 hours of community service. carry 6 points on your driver's license, and it requires that your license be suspended. I guess that's it. Do you understand, Mr. Martin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martin, do you understand that if you enter a plea to this charge, there will be no trial? Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you had a trial, you'd have a number of rights known as your trial rights, but you may know this, but let's take a minute and go through it. At a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Gibson is here to represent you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you, and you have the right to be presumed innocent unless the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, I always had trouble discerning what the deal was in this case because there was a ticket for misdemeanors, and then it was charged as a felony, but there was never any affidavit of probable cause or bond information sheet to give me much more to go on. So let's start with the ticket. Were you driving a vehicle at US 131 in Heimbaugh,
Yes, I was.
July 6th, just after midnight at 12:08 a.m.?
Yes.
And was there an accident?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you rear-ended another vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
And had you been drinking?
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the blood alcohol?
Your Honor, I obtained by request from the laboratory at the hospital a 0.24. And that was the lab result from Bronson Hospital in Kalamazoo.
Was Miss Shockley in his car or in the car that was hit?
She was in the vehicle that was struck, Your Honor.
Well, for purposes of this plea, I don't need to know more at this point about her injuries. This is very near where our former sheriff rear-ended a car and caused it to roll over. Just a couple of years ago. What were you drinking?
Beer.
What kind?
Busch Light.
This was 4th of July weekend. It would have been Saturday night into Sunday morning of the 5th of July. But that's a lot of beer, especially Busch Light. That's like 22 beers. But we'll explore that further. You were driving a Jeep?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was anybody in the car with you?
No.
All right, well, we'll explore this further. Set this for screening and sentencing. We're going to need victim input and restitution issues, and I'm going to need to see things. So
Here's where courtroom strategy hits the spotlight. The prosecutor wants stricter bond conditions because the holidays statistically bring higher DUI incidents. Smart precaution or unnecessary pressure? And notice the judge leaning toward agreement? This shows how public safety concerns shape real-time decisions.
I think the best bet is to set this out for after the first of the year.
Your Honor, as this was originally issued as a citation, if I may make a request of the court,
Yes,
giving, if we're adjourning sentencing through, or setting it, excuse me, into January, we're coming up to a big holiday season with a lot of consumption, typically done by youth. So I would ask that there be, a bond pending sentencing that requires no alcohol or controlled substances unless prescribed and testing as requested.
yes, the way this came about, it was just a regular ticket. And then it got changed to a felony, and I don't think any bond was ever even set.
Correct. So I'm a bit concerned about that through this season.
I think that's legitimate concern, so let's
And
take
a
a
no driving order as well.
Well, he's still got a legal license. Are you still working for the road commission?
St. Joe County Transportation.
Transportation.
That's not him, is it?
No.
Okay, so they're doing something else right now.
They don't realize that their sound is on, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not gonna take his license yet. I'll let the Secretary of State do that, but I am going to order bond conditions. I had the date up and I got sidetracked. Mr. Gibson, are you available on Monday, January 5th at 11?
Yes, that looks good.
Bond conditions include no alcohol or drugs, including marijuana, which is lawful for recreational purposes. I don't know whether that's an issue here, but if I gave you a test today, would it have marijuana in it?
No, sir.
All right, then that's not something where shall not leave the state of Michigan.
Do you have any reason to leave this?
No.
Shall set up testing at the day reporting center. No drugs, no alcohol. She's right. Christmas is coming and the holiday season. And if you are placed on a probation, there will certainly be a condition of no drugs and no alcohol. If this had come in as a felony, it would have been part of the bond, but the way it all went down, no bond was ever set. So I'm gonna make the amount $2,500 PR. No sense making a cash bond at this point. You've made every appearance.
I believe the last time I was here, I was put on bond.
Are you reporting with,
Yes, I have to text them or call them.
all
every
right, so
Thursday.
you're already testing with, I didn't look at my notes. Have you already instituted these conditions? Yes, you're already testing with community corrections. Judge Pattison did it, which is why I didn't remember it. So, all right, scratch all that. You're already enrolled with community corrections and you're testing. So those conditions remain in effect. You're set for sentencing January 5th at 11 a.m. Why don't you take this out to the counter and the ladies will give you the information about when to come in for your screening report. Apparently no news is good news, so everything you've been doing with community corrections is good. So
Thank you, Your
keep
Honor.
doing that.
I didn't see it in my file, so that's why.
I didn't remember it, and the reason I didn't remember it because I didn't do it, but Judge Pattison did it in November.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But that doesn't mean that even if I had done it, I would still remember it, but I have a reason for not remembering it because I didn't do it. All right. Let's shut this off for a minute and see where we are. All right, so one of them.